Good evening, good morning, and welcome to the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness with myself, Anne Rekovich, and
Renata Daniel.
And today, Renata is, I'm going to say that quite honestly to start with, Renata is bringing you the topic of werewolves. It's a crazy, crazy week for us because it's Halloween week. We've got a 4-hour Spooky Sunday radio show that we are prepping for on Sunday night, which is taking a bit of time, but we're getting there. And we have some amazing special guests. We've got Sean Porter from Ghost Stop from Florida, Orlando. We have got Joey and Tonya from Into the Outer Realms.
Yes.
And we have Beth Darlington from the UK, Access Paranormal. We have we've got Charmaine from Tasmania's Most Haunted. We've got Isaac Butterfield and Little Dixon Clare who are joining us live. We have some huge names in the industry, including Lloyd Auerbach. He's coming. He's pre-recorded a show for us, and we've got that to go. And we interviewed Bill Chappell from Ghost Adventures.
That's her work. That's just her work.
Just my friends.
Just saying her.
My friends.
Her little circle of friends.
So, and Jodie, thank you so much. Good morning to my two favourite paranormal educators.
Thank you.
That.
And Madalena, bless you, gorgeous lady.
We've got news for you, Madalena. We were going to the UK next year in September, but we've decided not to. We're going to go in April instead.
Coming sooner.
5 months. And more excitingly, we are recording a radio interview tonight with BBC Sheffield, which will be on Friday morning England time, which is very exciting as well. So I hope you can all join us in all those various things that are going on. But today, Renata.
And a big shout out to all of those beautiful people that are coming on right now. We have Julie Pearson, Stephanie, Courtney, Jody, Joshua. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, look, we think
it does mean a lot that we
are
speaking to actual people and not just a screen of nothingness.
Hey, Barbara!
Oh, Barbara Harrington Craft. Oh, you gorgeous lady.
Good morning, Deborah. All right. So, and Brett is on this morning as well. Hi, Greta. How are you?
Tell us where you're all from.
That makes us happy.
Because it does. It makes us happy to see all these beautiful people coming on from everywhere around the world.
Greta's been in Facebook jail.
So
we know the feeling.
Hi, Liz.
And
how
please remember, everyone, that we do not send you requests after the show or during the show to sign up to Anne apostrophe and Renata page, where we then ask you for your credit card details. We never, ever do that. The only way that we can make money from this show is if you send us stickers on YouTube or if you send stars through Facebook. That is the only way. We will never, ever ask you for money in a private message. It happened after our Thursday show and some people got stung. So,
hello, Jeremy York.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hello, Paranormal United Network.
Yeah. Hi, Valerie. You're on as well. Daniela. You're in Foster. Nice. Bluffton, Indiana. Colorado, where my mate Bill Chappell lives.
Stephanie, what happens in Bluffton, Indiana? What is Bluffton
I've never heard
for?
of Bluffton.
I would like to know. What are all of your places overseas known best for? What happens there? Please let us know. This is an educational session.
Educational. And overseas in Stockton. I used to live in Stockton for a while, believe it or not. And I used to say, I'm just going overseas.
And Karen in beautiful Nelson Bay. Hello, gorgeous.
And I'm just getting onto our live.
New Haven, Indiana. All these
Where is our
places
live?
sound beautiful, don't they? All right, let's go.
Hang on, I just want to check on something here very quickly. Woo! There's all that noise.
Greta, it's Stockton was, and you'll die when you hear this, very, very early on, Stockton was actually called the Venice of Australia.
I love it. Emily says that she's supposed to be Emma, sorry, is supposed to be homeschooling, but she'd rather listen to us.
Well, it's
Greta. Thank you very much.
It will be educational.
We appreciate your stars.
It will be educational. But yes, Stockton was known as the Venice of Australia because it was actually built on silt islands. They had to kind of build it up to make it one big piece of land. If you saw early photos of Stockton, which you probably have, they were just kind of partial bits of silt and dirt with the Hunter River all around them. So it kind of did look a little bit like, no, never. It never looked like Venice.
Do you know what?
Who are we kidding?
Greta, I probably used to go down to that butcher shop occasionally. My grandparents lived on Newcastle Street. They were the very first house, I think, at the start, and it's in the same block that the church and the hall and everything were on. It's now been torn down. There was vacant blocks all around them. But that's where I had my first ghostly experiences, was in Stockton. Colorado, hell yeah, skiing in the Stanley Hotel and Bill Chapel.
Did you know that they bought shiploads of bricks from the San Francisco earthquake to build up Stockton?
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. So good to be to San Francisco there.
Yes. So after the earthquake in San Francisco, for ballast in the ships coming to Australia, they put loads and loads of materials that came from the earthquake and dumped them over at Stockton before they came into the harbour. And if you dig deep enough, you'll probably find something from San Francisco down there.
I love how everyone's telling us what their town is famous for.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yes.
Major piano manufacturing town, and was home to nationally renowned hybridizers E.B. and Mary Williamson. It is currently home to the famous Bluffton Free Street Fair. Oh, I'd love to go to that. It was included in corporate names, the short-lived Cincinnati Bluffton. Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Madalena, stainless steel was invented in Sheffield. Yes, it's also the greenest city in Europe. Oh,
didn't know that.
Oh,
that's fabulous. We're learning today. I like it.
Oh, Jeremy, New Haven will have to be famous for something. Absolutely.
Isn't it famous for a TV series that was supposed to be filmed there, and it was all weird stuff going on?
Hurry up and dig for something, Jeremy. Come on.
Oh yes. That's why Stockton Beach sand was sent to Waikiki in Hawaii. So they've got a bit of us over there.
It's probably floated back by now.
Yeah, probably with all the storms. All right, so thank you. I like with paranormal educators and entertainers. I think that's our new logo.
Yes, Jeremy. Get with the program. Bluffton was nicknamed the Parlour City over a century ago because its paved streets made the city as clean as your parlour.
Oh, nice. I think Stephanie is very proud of her hometown, and I've learned something new. Are you also famous for I Dream a Genie?
I love this. This is awesome.
Oakley Dokley. Let's get on with the show, shall we?
Yes.
I'm just going to pop this in. We hope it's all still working. I'll get it over to, not that one, but that one. Or even better still, that one. And I can watch from here. And you can do your thing there. So slide that across.
Well, if you've been with us for the last how many ever weeks, you'll understand that we've been going through the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness. We started, of course, with the letter A, and we are up to W, so we're almost finished, which leads us to wonder what we're going to do afterwards. But that will depend on how many people are watching us. So there you go. There's a little hint. But when we get to these end letters, it sometimes becomes quite difficult to think of what is going to be a perfect subject for the ABC of Paranormal Strangeness. And I played with a few things, and I just wasn't coming up with enough information. So I went with werewolves. So here we are today. So most legends and myths have some basis of fact. Take the legends of the werewolf, for example. This half man and half wolf monster is said to go on killing rampages, slaughtering its victims with vicious, horrific attacks despite the romantic version that werewolves are given by Hollywood and young adult novels. Stories of werewolf attacks happened after barbaric murders. Were these attacks done by an ordinary wolf, by a psychotic human, or by a true human-wolf hybrid? Let's look at the long history of werewolf legends. So, welcome to the story of werewolves. So, it's unclear exactly when and where the werewolf legend originated. Some scholars believe the werewolf made its debut in the Epic of Gilgamesh. And it's quite interesting how we are finding so many myths and legends are coming from this Gilgamesh epic.
Yeah.
I think we need to all read it. The oldest known Western prose. So when Gilgamesh jilted a potential lover because she had turned her previous mate into a wolf. So the word werewolf comes from the Old English word werewolf, spelled Werwulf, and it's a compound of were or were, which is or means man, and wolf, Wulf, which means wolf.
Hello, Mel. How are you?
Okay. Werewolves made another early appearance in Greek mythology with the legend of Lycaon. According to the legend, Lycaon, the son of Pelasgus, I'm getting these dreadfully wrong, angered the god Zeus when he served him a meal made from the remains of a sacrificed boy.
Oh, what?
As punishment, the enraged Zeus turned Lycaon and his sons into wolves.
Liquor on.
Liquor on? That just sounds really bad.
It does, especially when you're eating children. That's not good.
In 425 BC, Greek historian Herodotus described the Neuri, a nomadic tribe of magical men who changed into wolf shapes for several days of the year. The Neuri were from Scythia. My God, I'm getting through these words. There won't be too many more of these.
Do you want me to say the words for you?
Oh.
I've got no other job to do.
Okay. Which was a land that is now part of Russia. Using wolf skins for warmth, it is not outside the realm of possibility for inhabitants of such a harsh climate. This is likely the reason.
Herodotus.
Oh, okay. You said it very differently. Describe their practice as transformation.
I just fake better.
Now, the Scythians, or the Scythians, might be Scythians.
Scythia?
No.
Scythians.
No, it could be
Or
Scythians.
Scyther is a Pokemon.
It could be Scythians.
Yeah.
God, I am completely wrong today.
That's why I'm here for you, Renata.
Are interesting group of people. And I have a tattoo, which is a Scythian or Scythian tattoo on my wrist.
Hang on, shall we?
And
will you go in a little bit closer so people can see that? There you go.
Ooh.
Why have I got that one there? I've got to remove that. I don't know why that's there.
There you go. And this is a copy of a tattoo that was found on a mummified woman that was Scythian or Scythian, and she was found in a grave. They believe that she may have been some sort of a female warrior, and her body was tattooed with all these symbols.
Wow.
And that is one. That's a deer, obviously.
Well, it wasn't that obvious until you said it. So Adelaide said it could be Scythians.
It could be. It could be anything.
We're all going to have a crack at pronunciations today.
Oh boy, that's one thing I'm not good at. I'm sorry, and I could have looked that up, but 2:30 in the morning. No, werewolves also emerged in early Nordic folklore. There's some more words here for you.
Adelaide said ice princess, so she's
yes,
actually, yeah.
Thank you.
So she's actually got it right. All right, we're up to
the saga of the
Volsungs.
Tells the story of a father and son who discovered wolf pelts that had power to turn people into wolves for 10 days.
Oh, I remember this legend.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
It's probably been used in a movie somewhere.
It's probably part of your studies.
Possibly.
Wasn't it?
In ancient magic or something,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The father-son duo donned the pelts, transformed into wolves, and went on a killing rampage in the forest. Their rampage ended when the father attacked his son, causing a lethal wound. The son only survived because a kind raven gave the father a leaf of healing powers.
Oh, I know that leaf. Ha ha! Sorry.
The werewolf is a widespread concept of European folklore, existing in many variants, which are related by common development of a Christian interpretation of underlying European folklore developed during the medieval period. So,
hi Sam, welcome.
Here we get into the kind of the dialogue of when Christianity started to overwhelm the pagan societies of the early ages and change things. And so their basic beliefs or village beliefs or very I've got to say basic because they had to work out why things were happening and they didn't have knowledge.
No.
So the idea was we create a story.
They had a guess.
Basically,
they had a guess.
Yeah, that tells us what is actually happening.
It'd be like you driving past and seeing a car accident on the side of the road and you're looking at the other car and you go, oh, I bet that car looks like it's running a red light. And you make the story up to try and make it fit. I like Greta said, did I use this story perhaps on an ex? Would you believe I married the first man that took interest in me? I met him when I was 16 and I haven't let him go since.
She's been paying the price ever since. So belief in werewolves developed in parallel to the belief in witches. In the course of the late Middle Ages and the early modern period, like the witchcraft trials as a whole, the trial of supposed werewolves emerged in what is now Switzerland, in the early 15th century and spread through Europe in the 16th, peaking in the 17th and subsiding in the 18th century. Well, not too long ago, actually.
Well, not for you. I'm on fire this morning. She didn't give me a job. I'm sitting here doing nothing, so all I can do is crack funnies. Jody also said that another thing that Colorado is famous for is that leaf.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have to visit Colorado.
We've got to go into one of those shops and get a cookie.
So we're only game enough for that.
On one hand, the Germanic werewolf, which becomes associated with the witchcraft panic from around the 1400s, and on the other side, the Slavic werewolf or Vilkolak.
I got it. We're good.
Which becomes associated with the concept of the revenant or vampire. The Eastern werewolf vampire is found in the folklore of Central and Eastern Europe. My background, so, I could possibly have werewolf origins. I could.
She does get a bit furry at times.
Hold on.
Oh no, that's for another reason. Who gave me coffee this morning? Cheers.
Including Hungary, Romania, and the Balkans, while the Western werewolf sorcerer is found in France, German-speaking Europe, and the Baltic. We're never recovering from this. Okay, here we go. Many so-called werewolves from centuries ago were in fact serial killers. There you go. And France had its fair share. Oh, those French people. In 1521.
Pierre Bigot
And
Michael Verdun.
God, allegedly swore allegiance to the devil, as you do,
Feck.
and claimed to have an ointment that turned them into wolves. After confessing to brutally murdering several children, they were both burned to death at the stake because burning was thought to be one of the few ways to kill a werewolf.
Oh dear. But even doubt burn it. Basically in medieval Europe, just burn it.
Well, they didn't have guns or anything else.
No.
So I guess to get rid of the whole body.
And cut out the heart. That's another good way to go.
Yeah, you burn it because they loved to gibbet people.
Right.
And, stick them in these little cages after they'd killed them.
And let them rot and everyone can watch and join in the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, here.
Oh, sorry. Giles Garnier. Werewolf of Dole.
Was another 16th century Frenchman whose claim to fame was also an ointment for wolf morphing abilities. I think it was more alcohol more than anything else.
So the more you drank, the more they looked like a wolf, right?
According to legend, as a wolf, he viciously killed children and ate them.
Yum, yum.
He too was burnt to death at the stake for his monstrous crimes. Whether
Bergot, Verdun, or Garnier
were mentally ill or acted under the influence of a hallucinogenic substance, or were simply cold-blooded killers is up for debate. But it's likely that it really doesn't matter to superstitious Europeans during the 16th century. To them, such heinous crimes could only be committed by a horrific beast such as a werewolf.
Is it highness or heinous?
Heinous.
Okay. Adelaide said,
because you can't say you're all heinous.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not highness. Anyway, Adelaide says, and your accent, I'm just spot on. So awesome to see you two back together in the same room.
Oh, no.
The energy changes. When we're together, it just gets so much worse.
It does. The Bedburg werewolf Peter Stube, a wealthy 15th century farmer in Bedburg, Germany.
My job, just saying.
Oh, I studied German for 2 years. I can get through the German bits. May be the most notorious werewolf of them all. According to folklore, he turned into a wolf-like creature at night and devoured many citizens of
Bedburg.
Thank you. Peter was eventually blamed for the gruesome killings after being cornered by hunters who claimed they saw him shapeshift from wolf to human form. Oh. It just occurred to me that when we look at history and when we look at what people were seeing and feeling and experiencing 200, 300, 400 years ago, we call it superstition and we call it,
Funny, Jeremy.
Their high imaginations. But people are also seeing these sort of same shape-shifting things now.
Yeah.
So, he experienced a grisly execution after confessing under torture for savagely killing.
About confessions under torture, they're going to say anything to stop the torture.
Yeah. Isn't that a jolly picture?
Oh, that looks like fun.
It's
There is so much going on in that picture.
So much going on.
I don't even know where to start.
Yes. All right. I just need to read that before. Read that sentence again. He experienced a grisly execution after confessing under torture to savagely killing animals, men, women, and children, and eating their remains. He also declared he owned an enchanted belt that gave him the power to transform into a wolf at will. Not surprisingly, the belt was never found.
Oh, surprise!
Peter's guilt is controversial since some people believe he wasn't a killer but the victim of a political witch hunt.
Surprise!
Or perhaps a werewolf hunt.
Oh.
Either way, the circumstances surrounding his life and death stoked rampant fears at the time that werewolves were on the loose.
Werewolves of London. Oh, that was just for Jeremy.
Some legends maintain werewolves shapeshifted at will due to a curse. Others state they transformed with the help of an enchanted sash or a cloak made of wolf pelt. Still others claim people became wolves after being scratched or bitten by a werewolf. In many werewolf stories, the person only turns into a wolf when there's a full moon. Oh, yes. And that theory may not be far-fetched. You will love this, Anne. I found this piece of information and it is about Newcastle.
Oh, our hometown.
Our hometown.
So we're famous for something other than pollution.
Listen to this. According to a study conducted at Australia's Calvary Mater Newcastle Hospital,
I was there on Saturday with my dad.
A full moon brings out the beast in many humans. This is a study done here in our town.
Wow.
The study found that of the 91 violent acute behaviour incidents at the hospital between August 2008
so a full year.
and July 2009, 23% happened during a full moon. Now, I'm going to copy that and put that on because people tell us all the time, no, full moons don't do anything. But if you listen to the police, the ambulance,
They dread
the
full moons.
nurses, the doctors that are on,
Mm.
firemen, they hide when it's a full moon. They go, no, all the lunatics are out. And we say that because the lunatics were named because of
Luna.
Patients attacked staff and displayed wolf-like behaviours such as biting,
What?
spitting and scratching.
Oh my God.
Although many were under the influence of drugs or alcohol,
Surprise!
it's unclear why they became intensely violent when the moon was full.
Yeah. Now, there's something I've noticed about the full moon, and you and I both suffer the same thing. And people who work in like magic or are aware of the moon cycles get really foul, filthy headaches when it's a full moon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it can start from the week up to it, and normally a day or two after. But I get really badly affected. I have to like take Panadine. It's the only thing I can knock it out.
Yeah, guys, if you suffer from full moon headaches, let us know if it's something that you feel you also experience. And now that we've actually said something about it, you probably will start to experience.
And I don't look at the moon calendar. I actually, I will get the headache and I go, oh, it must be a full moon. And sure enough, I'll look at it and it's within days. Greta can't sleep on the full moon. Danielle is saying, ask any local nurse in the ER, and they will totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adelaide can't sleep on full moons. Madalena, for about 14 years, I used to work on ladies' mental health wards. The patients and the staff definitely affected by the full moon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, Patricia. Hi.
You only have to go out during the full moon in Newcastle, and it's crazy. Yep.
It doesn't take the full moon.
They are out en masse,
Yes.
and I used to be one of them. It affects me a lot. Am I a werewolf? Headaches and insomnia.
Yes. So are werewolves real? The werewolf phenomenon may have a medical explanation. Oh, God. Take Peter the Wild Boy, for instance, in 1725, and that's a real picture of him right there.
Taken on a Kodak thing.
In 1725, he was found wandering naked on all fours through a German forest. Many thought he was a werewolf, or at least raised by wolves. Peter ate with his hands and couldn't speak. He was eventually adopted. Oh, this is really sad. He was eventually adopted by the courts of King George I and King George II and lived out his days as their pet in England. Research has shown Peter likely had Pitt-Hopkins syndrome, a condition discovered in 1978 that causes lack of speech, seizures, distinct facial
Oh.
features, difficulty breathing, and intellectual challenges. Now, what you see here in the bottom right-hand corner is his
Pen?
no,
Isn't
no,
it?
no, the
The collar.
a collar
Oh,
they kept around his neck.
no. That's awful.
They had it inscribed. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, so he knew he was special because it was inscribed.
Yes. I like this. He liked gin, had no idea what to do with money, and could be found growling and howling when bad weather was due.
And Andrew's made a good point. The twins who found Rome were raised by wolves.
Yes, Romulus and Remus.
Remus.
And we actually saw in Romania lots of statues in one of their main cities that was at one stage, I think, the major city in Romania. This was near the Hoia-Baciu forest, with statues of Romulus and Remus suckling.
Cluj-Napoca?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting how all of these, I'd love to discover more of Europe. Please, someone send us money. Please, if there is anybody out there who wants two old ladies wandering around Europe,
We do a great TV show.
Send us money. Okay, let's get back to it.
10 grand should do it to get us.
That'll get us there. On the right-hand side there, you will actually see his grave. Peter, the wild boy. I think it's like 1795 or something it says there. What a sad, sad story. Until the 20th century, wolf attacks on humans were an occasional but still widespread feature of life in Europe. Some scholars have suggested that it was inevitable that wolves, being the most feared predators in Europe, were projected into the folklore of evil shapeshifters. Yes, well, that makes a lot of sense. It does.
Oh, yes. Daniela said there's been quite a lot of wolfman throughout history, quite a bit in India. Babies raised by wolves. Jungle Book was based on one.
Yes, yes. So I found this interesting picture as well on Pinterest. Blom found that since 1850, there have been 56 original case descriptions of people who believe that they were metamorphosing into an animal. Among them, 13 reports met the criteria for clinical lycanthropy, the medical term for having delusions of being able to turn into a wolf. The adjective clinical is used to emphasize that the condition doesn't mean actual lycanthropy or the ability to metamorphose physically into a wolf. So this is actually a mental condition, lycanthropy, where people do believe that they are morphing into a wolf. So it is a mental condition. But we also have some pictures coming up. Please, guys, just be aware there are some interesting photos coming up. These are real photographs of people who have another condition, which is a physical condition that kind of makes them look a little bit wolf-like. So other medical conditions that that have encouraged werewolf mania throughout history are lycanthropy, a rare psychological condition that causes people to believe that they're changing into a wolf or other animal, food poisoning, hypertrichosis, a rare genetic disorder causing excessive hair growth, which we will be seeing in a minute, rabies. And I haven't seen this for years, but when I was younger, there was a lot of talk of rabies, and being bitten by a rabid animal would turn you into a werewolf. Oh, hallucination, possibly caused by hallucinogenic herbs.
Greta said, I thought I was a monkey once, turns out it's just hairy. It's weird because I really felt I was a horse. I was in the wrong body. I was a horse. And then I found out that because I was adopted, my whole family line is from the Snowy Mountains and are all crazy horse riders and breed horses. And one of them was related to a very famous poem about the man from Snowy River. So there might be something in your hereditary that could explain that.
Just for you, Anne, I've added a joke in. What wild animal steals panties? An underwear wolf?
It's all right. I'll take over the job next week. I didn't have time this week. I apologise. It's all right. Greta laugh. Greta laugh.
Thank
It's all
you,
good.
Greta. Thank you. I thought that was awesome. Sorry. It's
Hi,
amazing.
Mandy.
It's amazing what you think is entertaining at 2:30 in the morning when you're finishing finishing up. The curse of lycanthropy was also considered by some scholars as being a divine punishment. Now, in India, a lot of children that are born with really peculiar features are often thought as gifts from God. And it's
Right.
probably one of the only country in the world that actually devotes themselves
Thank you,
to
Kieran.
looking after people who are born with disfigurement, because they do believe that the gods have given a special gift to those people. Everywhere else they would be shunned, but in India they're looked after. Now look at this poor child. So werewolf literature shows many examples of God or saints allegedly cursing those who invoked their wrath with lycanthropy. Big words today. So this is an actual condition where people are born with a lot of hair on their bodies. And here is another 3 pictures. The one on the left, I'm sure she would have been in a traveling show back in the day. This young fella here, he doesn't look that strange, but
Leanne Jackson, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
This gorgeous little bubba with all the hair on his or her back. It is a condition, unfortunately, and some children are born with this excessive hair.
Wow.
Don't you love this picture on the left? Look at this. Look at that stunning flow of beard.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that little fella in the middle there, so cute. Robin Williams was quite hairy.
He was.
Crazy hairy.
He was. Throughout the centuries, people have used werewolves and other mythic beasts to explain the unexplainable.
Yeah.
In modern times, however, most believe werewolves are nothing more than pop culture horror icons made famous thanks to Hollywood's 1941 flick, The Wolfman. Still, werewolves have a cult following. Werewolf sightings are reported each year, and werewolf legends will likely continue to haunt the dreams of people throughout the world. Now, I've got some, just to end, a few more modern day stories of werewolf attacks or people who believed that they were werewolves.
Deborah Ann is suggesting that those people that are covered in hair might actually be a throwback to caveman days. It could be a genetic thing, a recessive gene.
You are right, Deborah Ann. It is a recessive gene, and it pops up on occasion. But you are absolutely right. It actually forms within the womb, and this particular gene is turned on for some reason. Normally it is turned off. It's one of the only things I read last night, and because I was quite interested as to why this is still occurring for people.
Now, Joshua said, but they actually don't take care of actual animals. I couldn't wait to leave India. I loved it, but the people loved it and the people, but the excessive homeless strays broke my heart.
I couldn't go.
I couldn't go.
No.
I've said that before. There's no way I could go to India because I would not cope.
Yeah. For me, the amount of people, the noise, and what my eyes saw and couldn't unsee, I couldn't. So very brave going to India. I'm sure it's life-changing. So here we have a gentleman called Albert Fish, and he is one of the most notorious serial killers in history, also known as the Brooklyn Vampire, the Boogeyman, and the Werewolf of Wisteria. Before he became a full-blown murderer and cannibal, he reportedly liked to eat raw meat during every full moon. Later, he began preying on children. He met one of his victims, Grace Budd, after responding to an employment ad that Grace's brother had placed in the paper. He went there with the intention of offering the boy a job, luring him away and killing him, but he changed his mind when he saw Grace. He said he'd love to take her to his niece's birthday party, and her parents agreed to let her go with Fish. They never saw Grace again.
No.
Years later, her family received a mysterious letter detailing how the writer had killed Grace and consumed her flesh. The letter was traced back to Fish and he was arrested. The exact number of his victims is unknown.
Wow. Yeah, some things don't change with humanity, do they?
No.
That was lured through an advertisement newspaper, and now it's on the internet.
Yep. Yeah, check out his eyes. They're quite.
And the profile gets me. Those cheekbones, and
yeah,
there's something hawkish about him.
Yeah. And we've got quite a new one here. Wolfy Blackheart.
Oh, Greta. She said a guy used to come into the butcher shop and eat raw sausages. Serial killer for sure.
Wolfy Blackheart is a self-proclaimed werewolf who belongs to a teenage wolf pack in Texas. Yeah. In 2010, the 18-year-old gained some notoriety after posting a photo.
Oh, hang on. We've got a troll. Sadiq Ojetunde is sent a message to Joshua here saying, Joshua, I have been sent to you by the gods and the ancestors. Text me privately to know the revelations.
Oh, wow. They use different words over there.
They do.
They're very prophetic and biblical.
Sadiq.
They just ask us for money in Australia.
Yeah, Sadiq, you can sod off, right? You're a scammer. You're a faker. And do you know what? Don't behave yourself. You might have us coming after you, dude. So watch out. We're going to block you. This is an example of the trolls that you'll get on these feeds. Never, ever, ever reply to them. Sod off, Sadiq. Block. Delete. Gone. Okay. Sorry.
We might have to put Wolfy Blackheart onto him. She's in Texas. Hey, Sadiq, Wolfy Blackheart. That's who you need.
Right, so, okay.
Anyway, she's a self-proclaimed werewolf, belongs to a teenage wolf pack in Texas. In 2010, the 18-year-old gained some notoriety after posting a photo, this is really awful, sorry guys, of a dog's severed head on her MySpace page.
No!
The photo prompted an investigation by the San Antonio Police and Animal Care Services. When interviewed, Wolfy admitted that she had found a dead dog, severed its head, boiled it. She had a small collection of animal skulls that she insisted had all come from roadkill. I would never kill a canine. I am a canine, she said. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I'd call her a bitch.
Her mother also insisted that Wolfy would never harm a living animal, but their neighbour, Kathy, no second name, was suspicious.
It's not Karen.
Don't say that. We've got our Karen. Beautiful Karen watching. When she saw the photo of the dog's severed head, she thought it looked a lot like her missing pup, Rigsby.
No! Oh.
However, the police were never able to prove that Wolfy harmed a live animal. Oh, my God.
Oh,
and then we have this dude. He's a likely lad.
I can see from those eyes, he's not been loved.
No.
He's very sad.
He's looking for someone to love him. Oh, dear. But in 2013, a California man named Mark Andrews used a rifle to kill his neighbour, Colleen Barger Milbury. He tried to claim insanity during the trial, saying he was a werewolf, that he was married to a she-wolf. Oh, a lot of men would be saying that. And that he had lived through medieval times. He told a psychiatrist that he first transformed into a werewolf when he was 3 years old. He also said that he believed that his neighbour was a vampire who was stealing his dreams, perhaps continuing to lay tracks for an insanity defence.
I feel there's a red flag here somewhere. Not quite pinpointing where it is, but I feel there's a red flag.
Yes. However, there was evidence that he had planned the crime and tried to avoid being caught. He was even interviewed by a TV reporter and feigned shock at his neighbour's death.
Oh, surprise!
Andrews was convicted of murder in 2015 and sentenced to 50 years in jail. He would be there now. He would be there now.
I'm with you, Joshua. The karma bus will run them over.
So here are some of the sources that I used for the stories. There are many more, but like I said, at 2:30 in the morning, I couldn't be bothered putting the rest of the day. And to end on a lovely note here, I have another joke. What do you call a sleeping wolf? Another werewolf. Yeah, whatever.
Yay,
That
Renata!
was hard. It was hard.
Thank
Okay,
you,
it was hard.
Renata. That
Thank
was
you.
fabulous.
Thank you. Did you enjoy that?
Oh, there you go. Greta says, love your work, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you, Greta.
And I agree with you, Deborah Ann.
Yes.
Ghosts don't worry me.
No.
Humans do.
They do. They do.
Every time. Yeah, so Christine's had a laugh at that one. Greta's had a laugh. Daniela said, that was great.
Now, guys, do us a favour and share this on your page. And for anyone coming on afterwards, hashtag replay on it so that we can see who has watched afterwards and whether you have enjoyed this type of a presentation. A little bit of a laugh and just making light of some very, very serious subjects sometimes. And the whole idea is that we don't want you to fall asleep through these presentations. We actually want you to be listening and adding in things that you know as well, which is awesome because you have all done that right at the very beginning. Tell us.
Hashtag replay.
Hashtag replay.
REPLAY. You might have to say it with an American accent so Jeremy understands.
Oh,
replay.
Oh, right. I can't. I've had 4 hours sleep, people. Leave me alone.
That's double what you normally get. Bloody hell. Lots of people saying how much they've enjoyed that. And I like that. Jeremy says, you capture and hold a lot of people. Oh, we're not laughing. I know it's a slip of the finger, but that's just funny. I love it. And thank you guys for sharing. We really appreciate that, particularly if you're on YouTube. If you get to share that link around, that helps us as well. Thank you to the gorgeous people who have sent us some stars and appreciation for the work done today. And look, we know that not everyone can afford stars and stickers on YouTube and Facebook, but you can actually support us by making sure you've liked our pages and you've shared our pages around, and we appreciate that so much as well.
And to finish off today,
because we've actually got to finish up a little bit earlier because we've got a meeting at 12 noon our time.
Right. To finish up today, guys, we want you to pick a number between 1 and 3. Okay. 1 and 3. This is for
you're all going to get a reading.
Ahead.
So I'm going to be reading from what we call the frightfully good naughty and nice oracle cards. So Renata and I created these cards ourselves, and they are a little bit naughty. I'll give you an example. Put yourself first for a change. Yeah, the angels are looking after you. You are one lucky mother chucker. Got to be careful what we say. The time to act. The time is not right to act. You need more information. So instead of being love and light and airy fairy and your spirit guides will send you a sign and a feather, we've got some really grounded, serious.
Yes. So, all right. In your mind, choose a question or think for yourself, what clarity do I need to know for this Halloween season? Okay, Halloween is coming up this weekend. What revelation, let's use the word
for this week,
Sajik or whatever his name was, what revelation do you need to know? And
now commit to it. Write it in the comments.
Write it down in the comments. 1, 2, or 3. Come on, guys. Your number. Commit.
I'm going with 1 today.
And you're not allowed to change. I'm going to go with 3, and I have no idea what's here. We've let the gods do the work.
Yep, the angels, the sprites, the fairies, and the fluffy bunnies.
So 1, 2, or 3. Those tablets were awesome.
Oh, no. Nothing like some aspirin to kick you off in the morning.
That's true. Okay, 1, 2, or 3. Are we seeing comments fly in?
Yeah, they are.
Awesome.
Ow. I've got a sore finger. I'm not giving people the bird. I actually do. I cut it like about 5 days ago, and it's still really sore. I keep whinging about it often, don't I, Renata?
It's amazing how the tarot comes up and speaks the truth exactly when you need
All right.
it.
What do I need to hear this week? I choose card 1.
All right. So if you chose card 1, you have the 7 of Swords. I'm going to show you this particular card here.
God, I think this is the same card I got the other day.
And this is about winning the small battles. So even though you feel as though every day is a trial and every day is painful. You're actually winning small trials, small wars, which means that you are carving the path ahead of you. And it's difficult, it's painful, it's costing you energy. But just remember, every single day means that you are getting one step closer to doing what you really want to do and getting through the rough shit. So bear with it and keep going. Don't lose the faith now.
And if these readings resonate with you, let us know in the comments. All right, with this one, are you going to follow your head or are you going to listen to your heart? So you've got to make the decision, because at the moment you're torn between the two. Your head is telling you logically what needs to happen. Your heart is telling you something completely different. Make up your mind which one you've got to follow and start moving. All right, so one or the other.
All right, if you chose card number 2, you're all right. You have the Hermit card. Here we are, the Hermit card, and this is actually my card from the Major Arcana. And the Major Arcana is all about our life points, our life stations, where we are, and what we need to learn from being in this particular situation. And if you have the Hermit card, if you chose card number 2, do not be afraid of being on your own, by yourself, or choosing a road less traveled that nobody else is choosing. You are never really alone.
What was that? Something just moved in here.
You are never really alone. As I said, you are never really alone. You have your ancestors and everyone else in spirit around you. Ask them for advice. Halloween, open up. This is what Halloween, and this is your message right now. Open up to your ancestors and your guides and those that you believe are in spirit with you, and ask them for advice, and choose to understand that even though you might travel this road on your own, you have all of your ancestors lined up behind you, and they are pushing you further along.
Hi, Chon Chon. Thanks for joining us. Number 2, if you chose that. Oh, dear. It's just another. These cards today are all about moving. Right. Just make a choice so you can start moving again. You're stuck in a pile of poo. So you can't make a decision. You're so overwhelmed by everything that's going on. You just can't. What if I choose this will go wrong. If I choose this will go wrong. You've just got to accept the consequences. So there will be consequences to the action, but you have to start moving.
And Sky has said, I have no family. My son passed, so I'm really sorry for that, my gorgeous lady. But you are here because of all of the sex your ancestors had to get you right here, right now.
That was not what I was expecting her to say right at this moment in time.
You are made up of the DNA of all of those that have come before you. Take their good energy and their strength and their resilience and use it, because you are here. They went through plagues and pestilence and hard times and poverty and everything. So you have all of their strength, Sky, in your bones. So remember to use it. And the third card today is the Queen of Coins. So this is for me because I'm a stubborn cow. And this is about finance and being methodical about finance and shut up, and just understanding that you have to look after the coin that you have in your that comes to you. So she does good things with money. She does. She
only if you do good things with money.
She gives to people. She is someone who is philanthropic, but she only does that when she feels that she is wealthy and abundant. So this is the feeling that you have to have right now.
Lots of people saying the cards are resonating with them. Now, you can buy these cards. There's a link going up there right now. You just need to go to the frightfullygood.com website, go to shop. There's lots of other lovely merch. My boobs.
Ant's boobs are not included.
The card, Renata. have a really good think about this. I want you to stop all the stuff that's spinning and just stop, sit, and think about it. You're
Oh,
making mountains into molehills.
I'm
Just breathe and
I'm
calm
sure I've
down.
got ADHD. I'm
Yeah,
sure
me
of it.
too. That's why we get on so well. Oh, all right.
Oh, don't be afraid of using the cards, for God's sake. They're pieces of cardboard with pictures on them. They're supposed to talk to your intuition and to your subconscious mind, Sky. You'd probably be awesome with them. The thing that you're afraid of is the truth. And this is what people are afraid of in the tarot, that they will tell you the truth and that you're going to have to change and do something about it.
And sometimes people don't like getting the truth. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show. We've got a couple of minutes to get into this other meeting on Zoom. So thank you guys for joining us. We will be back next week. UVWX.
Oh, no. If you've got any ideas, put them in the comments for X, please.
Yeah. And we will be back next week with more shenanigans. Don't forget, you can join us on Thursday nights, 8:30 p.m. Australian time, Sydney Australian time, for our tarot show. And Sunday is the Spooky Sundays from 8 p.m. till 12 midnight. We've got Lloyd Auerbach, we've got Bill Chappell, we've got Sean Porter, who accidentally called him Porn Shorter the other day. We've got Tony Rotonda, we've got all sorts of people. So it's going to be a massive show, and starting off with a live seance at 7 p.m, which will be streamed on Newcastle Live Radio Facebook group page. Anyway, love yous all, and we'll see you next time on the dark side.
Bye.